Chapter 5. To the One I Adore. Marseille, Corsair. The Titan's Dark Tomb. I had a dream. I don't think it was my dream. I think it was spying on a dream that someone else had. I'm strangely certain of this. It wasn't my own experience. It's like I was watching a film projected onto a screen. A fragment of the record. The sea is stars. A teardrop. The burning earth. The downfall of the gods. The ravaged planet. The end of civilization. And the destruction of life. Destruction. Subjugation. Screaming and weeping. Terror and howling. The white titan swelling at the horizon and... something that shines so brightly. The light. The light. The light covers everything. Covers the world. The Titan, for all its power and savagery, crumbles to the ground and disappears. And then, in the darkness of the moon, the cyber frame that holds the memories of the White Titan is all that's left. That which was left in the Zero Dark, forgotten by the Umbral Star, as it headed into the Sea of Stars beyond. That which only exists to wait 14,000 years for the return of the Umbral Star. Without anyone to talk to, without any outside interference, without anything to do. Trapped in a cold cavern, little different from a coffin. The sweet embrace of sleep would have been a luxury. The cyber frame held life, intelligence, and all the necessary parts to function, but never knew sleep. Its brain never had a chance to rest. Without sleep, without dreams, without moving in the slightest in the dark, without seeing anything, only reflecting on the memories it had of destroying the Earth alone. All that time, in a place where it had no input or output, that cyber frame. There it remains for eons. All alone.
ようやく目覚めたか、奏者。
He's so cute.
良い夢見という面持ちではないな。その方を伝う涙こそなかったが、悲しい顔をしていた。どんな夢を見たのだ、奏者よ。世はつらい。そなたの悲しむ顔を見るなど、胸が張り裂ける思いだぞ。
My fuzzy consciousness clears as Saber's voice reaches my ears. Was this our first time sleeping in the same bed? Has she slept by my side for countless nights? It's comforting to wake up next to such a warm, soft presence. Saber's golden hair shines like the sun, and the sight of it shakes some of the heaviness from my eyelids.
ソルよりもミューズが良いぞと何度言わせる。やり直しを要求すると言いたいところだが、残念だ。休息の夜は終わり、出陣の時間だ。まどろみに甘える時間は今はない。それでも聞いておかねばな。奏者よ。眠りの中でそなたは何を見たのだ？
The dark cavern, yeah.
そうか。そうであろうと思っていた。ならば 世はそなたと同じ夢を見たのであろう。
At Saber's urging, her mouth opens on its own. I somehow string the words together. I tell her what I saw in that dream, floating somewhere deep within my mind. The story of the White Titan that turned the ground into the sea of fire, and finally headed beyond a distant horizon of bright light. In the long, long, unbearably days, within the shadowy Zero Dark, all said, it must have been
14000年か。未明領域。ムーンセルの内にありながら、ムーンセルによって隔絶された領域。それは必ずしも暗黒の世界ではないだろう。そなたと世は知っている。時空を超えて届けられた記録に触れたがゆえに。
an isolated space closed off for ages. That's what the Zero Dark is, as far as we know. Then there's the far side of the moon, an imaginary space on the other side of the moon, where all of humanity's evils are sealed away. That's separate from the Zero Dark. Since the far side is still considered part of the moon system, the Zero Dark is a territory of deep shadows, visible from neither the inside nor the outside. We already know what lies there. The Arc of the Stars, the external memory unit injected into the moon by the Umbral Star. We know the boundary is there to keep the Arc quarantined for the rest of the moon cell. I imagine its darkness resembles what space looks like before the sun, the space where nothing can be born. The moon cell named it the Zero Dark due to its nature. Its corruption is contained and still festering inside, and there, the Umbral Star takes root. And of course, it's where the White Titan sleeps. Well, not exactly, because she isn't sleeping.
月へと埋め込まれた優勢のかけらか。夢見た光景にあったのは一面の暗がりのみだった。まさしく文字通りの育成層の年月。あやつが目にしてきたものがあの石室なのだな。それにしても14000年とは長すぎて世には想像することもできぬ。
Certainly can't imagine it either. There's no way I could. Even though I experienced everything in my memory as a dream, it was more like looking through sheets of data. It was nothing like living in it myself. They say that a master who forms a contract with a servant sometimes experiences events of their partner's life through dreams. The dream I had was even less real than that. It was more like a copy of a dream. I don't think I was able to pick up on the same things as the Lost Leader who sent me this record. A record is a record. A combination of images and sounds. It doesn't copy over the emotions the recorder feels when the record is made. Since it's only a means of absorbing information, like reading a book or watching a movie, what you take from it is up to you. Oh, but still.
その気持ちは世も同じだ。言ったであろう。サーバントはマスターと同じ夢を見ると。14000年の孤独など世にはわからぬ。わかるのは胸に宿ったこの気持ちだけだ。アルテラを救うことが本当に正しいのか。優勢の化身と分かり合うことはできるのか。というか奏者を取られてしまわないか。そんな恐れも当然ある。だが世にはあやつの最後の姿が忘れられない。世はアルテラを救いたい。そなたがそう願うからではない。いや、少しはそなたのためにと思うところがないでもないが、これは世が私が純粋に感じたことだ。私がそうしたいと感じたからこそアルテラを あの闇から連れ出そうと思う。それが世がそなたと共に戦う理由。生き残るために戦った聖杯戦争とは違う。人を救うというごく当たり前の我らの願いだ。
Faber spoke calmly, like she is confiding a secret from deep within her heart. She will fight, but not as the servant of lost leader. She will fight it against the darkness as her own person.
それにだ。たとえ3分の1の分身であったとしても、あの奏者は命を懸けたのだ。あの娘を、アルテラを救うなどという大きな話のためではない。アルテラ目に幸福を教えてやるなどと、そんな小さな願いのために、彼方の奏者は全てを費やした。そなたのサーバントとして、これを叶えずしてどうする。あの思いも、世は決して無駄にしたくない。何？どーんと任せるがよい。1万と4000年、長きにわたって暗黒に閉ざされた者に輝けるものを見せてやる程度。世には造作もないことだ。この世のものとは思えぬ至高の芸術、黄金劇場の進化を今度こそ見せてやろう。
Exactly as you say, Saber. It's only natural for us to protect Sephram as the ones who live here. It's just our survival instinct as living creatures. But we have another reason besides that. Independence of my human desire to live. I want to save Altera. The vixen? This caster?
キャスター？貴様、いつからそこに？まさか初めから盗み見ていたというのか？
Oh, she's like, oh no, you did not just fucking cheat on me.
初めからではございません。そんなことなら飛び蹴りの一つでもくれています。私がお邪魔したのはつい先ほど。ノックをしても返事がない。巣はご主人様の寝顔ジャースと抜き足で入ってみればまあ。
To catch them sleeping? Excuse me?
あの巨人を救うとか言い合って二人で見つめ合うんですもの。そりゃ呆れて塊もします。
やはり貴様は反対か、キャスター。貴様はどうもアルテラと因縁がある様子。心底から賛同はしていないと気づいていたが。
そりゃそうでしょうとも。私たちがあの巨人にどれほど手を焼いたか、あなたもご主人様も知らないのですから。ですがまあ、あの時と今回とは状況が違うようですし、あの女の気持ちも少しだけ共感できますし、かつて巨人を倒すために戦った者たちはことごとく敗れ去りました。ですが、倒すためではなく救うために戦うというのは今までにない展開。かつて敗れた者の一端として、その結果、私も見とうございます。
キャスター、貴様言うではないか。あれか、奏者に振られて良い女度が上がったのか。
But after my... I didn't discard her?
振られてねえですよ。今回は私よりあなたの方が向いているから一歩譲ってあげてるだけです。ですが、ご主人様も底抜けのお人よしすぎて、私そちらの方が心配です。もちろんご主人様のそういう博愛満ち満ちすぎて逆に困らせてあげたくなるところも大好きですけど。
それはわかる。かなりわかる。だが世の方が大好きだぞ。そして奏者も世が大好きなのだぞ。
Beg pardon?
はいはい。せいぜいこちらはここを守りますとも。
She literally is just like, I'm the housewife. I need to protect the home. That's my job.
ご主人様の戻る場所、必ずや 優勢の軍勢から守り通してみせましょう。ですからセーバーさん、くれぐれもどうかご主人様のことよろしくお願いいたします。
無論である。
I know exactly what it is I want to protect. Now all I have to do is make it happen. Let's go. To Altera's home base. To the ends of the Zero Dark. Let's go to the Zero Dark. Let's go.
さ
Have
て
a fun remark.
キャスターの陣営を含めれば多くの英雄たちが新ローマ領に集った。この辺りでそろそろ本格的に考えておく必要があるか。どうだろうか、奏者よ。
Exactly as Saber says. Since the decisive battle lies ahead of us, we should try to get as much brain work as possible done beforehand. So, the problem lies in how we're going to answer the biggest question of all. How exactly are we going to save Altera?
実はな、機会を見て味方の9機に尋ねておいたのだ。故に今9つの案が出ている。頼もしいではないか。さすがはそれぞれの地、それぞれの時代で名を成した英雄だけのことはある。皆真摯に答えてくれたぞ。データの形でまとめてあるのでしばし待って。これをこうして、よし。では行くぞ。まずは空風林だ。いわく、やれる相手ならさっくりやっちまえばいいとのことで。魔剣士殿も似たようなものだな。まず倒す、その後に妙案が浮かべばよし。似た者同士というかなんというか。
Alright, yeah, that's true. Let's just pretend we didn't hear those two and move on. What about Gawain and Archer?
録画データを見る限りでは、難しい顔をして首を振っている。アーチャーはまだしもガウェイン卿までだ。なんとも不甲斐ない。
Well, not like we've come up with much better ourselves. After all, we're talking about fighting an alien enemy from the edge of space. On top of that, we're not just looking to defeat an alien, but to defeat and save an alien.
ライダーめも似たような感じか。呂布将軍は相も変わらずの様子であるし、カルナはおお、カルナは何やら言葉を残しているな。さすがは稀有なる見識の持ち主。このような事態にも一加減あるか。さてと、具体的には倒す者を救うという考えは矛盾している。月と太陽どちらかを取れというようにな。だが一方だけでは明日は来ないものだ。どういう意味であろうか。カルナメはあれだな、少し遠くを見すぎているな。キャスターの気苦労が忍ばれる。そなたはどう思う、奏者。
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
良い言葉だ。世の求める回答そのものではないにせよ。
Well, I think the way that Karna's putting it specifically is that if you set out to kill someone, that's what you set out to do. If you set out to save someone, you'll save them. It's not a matter of like having a plan, it's a matter of the attitude that you have. That's what Karna's saying, which is actually pretty freaking wise. And you know what? Karna has become more and more likable to me. Boop boo.
優しき英雄であるのだな、カルナ。希代の大英雄として古くより称えられただけのことはある。
Well, we still have fate in our planning. A way to save her. One single task to accomplish. We may well already have the power to do so. Regalia. The royal authority of the moon's Holy Grail. As far as Sephram is concerned, a machine that could grant any wish. Since we have 2/3 of it in our possession, we should be able to do just about anything. So really, all we have to do left is hammer out the details of that plan. Then what do you gotta say?
すまぬ奏者よ。戦国の戦いを胸中で反芻していた征服王イスカンダル。あれは実に気高く眩しき大英雄であった。そして何よりも至極単純に強者である。こうして勝利を得て世とそなたは生き残りはしたが、二度戦って二度勝てるとは到底思えぬ。
Iskander was a fearsome enemy. At the same time, he was a hero exactly as Saber says. He had the courage to do whatever it took to obtain his heart's desires, as well as an adventurous spirit that made it hard to tear your eyes away from him. Even as we were fighting him, even as his enemy, I couldn't help but think that.
あれこそ英雄なる者の真髄に相違ない。征服王や神祖ロムルスのような正真正銘の大英雄に比べれば、世の武勇と勲のほどは足元にも遠く及ばぬ。世とてローマ皇帝の座についた者、無二の人物であると自負はしているが、やはりかのイスカンダル王には及ぶまい。大陸の多くをすべて、多くの王をその進化として従えた男。なんともはやファラオにさえなったというぞ。世の憧れるカエサルさえもが憧れたのだ。それにさ、叔父上もイスカンダル王を好んでいたな。
Sabers, the person who was the uncle of the Roman Empire, Nero, was...
カリギュラ叔父だ。叔父上は我が母アグリッピナの兄にあたる。よく膝の上に小さき世を乗せて古き時代の英雄譚を語って聞かせてくれたものだ。多くの物語を聞いたぞ。イーリアスの英雄たちはもちろんのこと、ヘラクレス、オデュッセウス、ペルセウス、中でもやはりアレクサンドロス大王、すなわちはイスカンダルの逸話になると、叔父上もまた熱くなったものだ。
Saber's eyes seem to search for something in the distance. Her thoughts are in a time long gone. Emperor Caligula. When I think of the third emperor of ancient Rome, I recall that he was famous for being more of a tyrant than Nero. They say he was a blood-soaked despotic. The Emperor Death, who fell into madness, the greatest man in power at the time. He was temporal and would steal lives away without a second thought. In the end, he was murdered in some internal plot. But the words that spill from Saber's lips seem to paint an entirely different picture from the bloody legend I know. I recall that Emperor Caligula was considered an enlightened ruler, and not a tyrant. When he first took the throne, for the first few years of his rule, he was known as the Shining Star of Rome. Yes, just like the Saber I know. Perhaps the Caligula in her memories is forever in the shape of the good and wise king she was most familiar with.
世には優しい叔父だった。それだけは間違いがない。いつか自分も伝説の英雄たちのように殿たまってしまうのは大行に過ぎるかもしれぬが、せめて良き皇帝でありたいとな、よく口にしていたものだ。それからいずれお前も良き貴族となれとな。
He sounds like a great uncle. I can't help but think it's a little ironic. I think he sounds like a great uncle is perhaps the best thing to say here. She's reminiscing, and honestly, at this point, it seems like he did raise her pretty well, at least in that degree.
そうだな。実によくしてくれたおじ上であった。
Yeah, ultimately, you just see people for different facades and faces and whatnot, and the idea of having a mask that you show only so many people, even to yourself, is a fairly interesting thought piece, and I do like it, but like, I feel like that is more informative on the people around you than it is on you yourself. Overall, I do kind of agree that there isn't like a deep down sense of oneself, in the sense that like, you put out there what you put out there, and regardless of how deep you feel that you are or how shallow people could see you as, what you put out there is what is shown, and often is what's put out in history books and whatnot, not in what everybody remembers. Only certain people remember you in certain ways and lights and degrees and everything. And I always like that idea, and I especially like how it's being put here that Nero used her uncle specifically as a good man, and like, that's something that I feel like is not really like crossed very well with other fiction very well. Like, they'll just kind of go with it in the sense that like, oh yeah, he was awful like guy, even though like way back when, ha 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 ha. It's like, no, people are multifaceted regardless of that fact, and just like, as much as they are a tyrant, they could show that part of themselves too, you know? It's a very complex non-answer. Oh, we got more.
ライオンだ。そう、ライオンなのだ。新たなセラフが日ごとに拡大しているのは奏者も知っていよ。古き7層から新たな7層へ。基本構造こそ変わってはいないようだが、各層はやはり次々に拡大している。地球の特定の国、時代に即したかのような領域もあれば、ジャングルじみて自然あふれる生命力に満ちた領域もあると聞く。
Saber is correct. The new world that was created after the moon's Holy Grail War is slowly but steadily growing. That I know, but what was that about a lion?
ライオンだ。アーチャー曰く、我がローマ領域の近くに現れた新領域でライオンが発見されたそうだ。ライオンのようなものが発見されたそうだ。
She corrected herself. I didn't miss that. My own dear Saber stopped and corrected herself.
尻尾が蛇だったとか、背中に何やらヤギが生えていたとか、変なことをアーチャーは言っていたからな。だが、何かの間違いであろう。もしくは、知られざる新種。もしくは、古き種のライオンを模して作られた NPC であろう。ぜひ捕まえてみたいものだ。ぜひぜひ世のペットとして愛
Why
玩
do
し
you
たい。
want a pet like that? Why would it be like, oh my god! I pictured that for a second. Our petite saber clinging to a 6-foot lion monster, puffing up its mane, petting it, and calling it a good boy. Should have been me, damn it! Not him! Oh, not a bad image at all. If anyone could tame a wild beast, it's Saber. She would definitely do it at any cost. I'm sure that no matter how much she fuzzes over it, all the lion would do is sit there wagging its tail adorably. I could easily imagine that. That scene would be so brilliant that I would have to avert my eyes.
どうした奏者。突然目を手で隠して。
This could be a good thing. I'd like to look for that line if we could have some time. And I'll have to level up the screenshot skills of my heart to the max before the time comes.
何をそのようにうんうんと納得したようにうなずいている。ようにわかるように説明せよ。
No, she's being gay.
それにしてもライオンはいいものだ。 フしたい。
Lions aren't there to cuddle. They are there for a gay pile, and that's it. Like for real.
ヘラクレスごっこをしたい。獅子の首をこうもっと決めて。
I'll help fluff it. So fluffy and cute. I'll help fluff it.
よし、善は急げだ。ならばすぐに出発だ。奏者にも挑戦を許すぞ。見事裸の肉体のみで獅子を絞め殺してみせよ。
Beg pardon? You want me to go naked and do this? I see. I get it now. That was one of the legendary tasks of Hercules. Or Hercules, as Nero would have called him. A one-on-one wrestling match with a lion? That's why Saber is so excited about this. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and veto that plan. We have too many other things to handle right now for a lion hunt. Now, Saber, let's get ready for the next battle.
そうだな。締めるのは次の機会だな。
I mean, you could choke a snake? Pinky face?